I love the Persona games. They take an unhealthy amount of my time and also have an unusually large place in my heart. But you know what else I love as much as Persona? YouTube and RuneScape. Meet Settled. They're a legend in the YouTube and RuneScape community. Their magnum opus is Swampletics, the Mauritania-locked Iron Man. Settled created an account with a big list of restrictions. The biggest was that he could never leave Mauritania. Mauritania is an area in RuneScape that is treacherous and dangerous, and is not the kind of place you want to be stuck in. Just like Tartarus. Swampletics is one of the greatest stories told on YouTube, and this is my homage to Settled. Today, we'll be playing Persona 3 Reload, but we'll be locked in Tartarus. We're going to complete the game without leaving Tartarus. Immediately, you might be thinking that this is literally impossible. You have to leave Tartarus to progress the story, and to that, I say you're absolutely right. But we're going to use our imagination a little bit. Here's the one rule for the Tartarus Locke run. We can't do anything outside of Tartarus that is not required by the story. So that means literally anything that is outside of Tartarus is off limits to us. This is the closest we can get to never leaving Tartarus. This also creates a disgustingly long list of things we can't do. Let's run through a few of those things, yeah? We can't progress social links. We can't progress social stats. We can't buy items from shops like medicine, armor, and weapons. No shrine to duplicate skill cards. No part-time jobs to earn money. No Tanaka's commodities, no arcade to raise persona stats, no crafting, no planting crops, no exam rewards so we don't get incense for upgrading our personas, and no collecting twilight fragments. I'm sure there's something I missed because 80% of the things you can do in this game take place outside of Tartarus. So if anything comes up that we want to do and realize we can't throughout this run, I'll bring it up. Oh, and we're playing on Merciless, as always. We start off by paying our respects to the legend himself and get full control of our party. For this run, we'll be named Shadowletics. We go through the tutorial and are introduced to the police station, this game's equipment shop. But unfortunately, we have to stare this cop in the face and say we don't actually want anything after telling him we did and walk out empty-handed. Now, this is normally the part where we prep for our first trip to Tartarus, but we literally can't. So let's just go in raw. I'm sure it will be fine.
Next track.
These first few floors, we focus on collecting items from every chest that we can. Items from chests are the only items we'll have access to for the entire run. We avoid the Twilight chest though. Twilight fragments will be rare in this playthrough, so we'll save them for armor or any good weapons we can get later on. We will mainly get fragments by destroying these armed things in Tartarus, and we might be able to get them from Elizabeth's request. We also defeat every shadow we come across to collect personas and skill cards. Our first big goal is to create Jack Frost. We'll need him for the first full moon boss. And it feels so wrong and dirty to use my skills after spending 80 plus hours avoiding SP like it's the fucking plague. I'm just now realizing grinding is going to suck. We won't be able to use the fortune teller. The fortune teller is the best way to grind up XP without a doubt. Grinding up, especially on Merciless, is miserable without it. I haven't confirmed this, but it feels like you get a lot less XP in Merciless. The Swift Axle gives us a bit of trouble, so we fuse Omoikane and hit him with the full might of Zeus. We made it to the border floor and fused Jack Frost. We give him single shot so that he can damage the priestess. I would have given him a different skill because of his high damage stat, but we didn't find anything in Tartarus. I think that's all the prep we need for the full moon boss. And if you're wondering what I do between here and the full moon, I sleep. That's all I do. The hardest part of this run won't be the long ass list of restrictions. It'll be having to manually go to my dorm every afternoon and then going to my room at night and sleeping every single time. It doesn't sound like a lot, but this is a lot of button presses just to skip the day. And we'll be doing this every day we're not in Tartarus. Persona is supposed to be about hanging out with your friends and being efficient with your time, and I'm just throwing that all away. It's so painful to do. Full moon is here and we have a few problems with the priestess. The first is we are extremely squishy since we don't have any armor, and we take a lot of damage. This means we spend more time healing and less time attacking, which is a big problem because of that big ass timer right there. It gets halved a few times and decreases much faster than it looks. We'll have to defeat her fairly quickly. Our party goes down a lot and we end up using all of our revive items. But even with all these problems, we still send her to the Shadow Realm. The next milestone for us is to ensure we have coverage for every weakness. This will be super important for the next run. Before even starting our Tartarus run, I fused Chimera. Why? Don't worry about it. I'm just kidding. It's for my arch nemesis. I don't remember exactly what floor he's on, but I sense his spiritual pressure. So I gotta be prepared. Up these floors of Tartarus, I am fighting for my life. I'm dying left and right, barely defeating bosses, resetting, using all my items, And then I remember we get Akihiko sometime this month. That's why I'm getting destroyed. I'm supposed to be using Akihiko for Zio and Tarunda. So I stop going to Tartarus and sleep for 15 days until Akihiko joins our party. Now that our beloved baby boy is here, we can finish Tartarus. We get to the Clairvoyant Relic and I get absolutely cooked by him. I hate him, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him. If I could just skip over this fight, I would. I can't stand him. The Clairvoyant Relic claims to know your weaknesses, but it's a lie. He has a pattern for his attacks, but I forgot what it is. So we guard and relearn his pattern. It looks like it goes Zionga, Bufula, Garula, and Agilao. Alright, we got this. That's not right. Let's do this again. So it's Zionga, Bufula. Oh, right. Chimera, I forgot. I made him specifically for him, the Clairvoyant Relic. Chimera knows Tarunda and Bewilder. Both of these will lower the Clairvoyant Relic's attack. If you haven't noticed yet, the Clairvoyant Relic hits harder than my stepdad. We managed to get his pattern right this time, and oh shit, I forgot to reapply his buff. Yikes. We get a bit confident and a little silly, so he kills us when he has just 1 HP left. No matter how many times I fight the Clairvoyant Relic, he always gives me a hard time. I decided to stop being silly and remember to use the heal button this time, so we beat him. Barely. Clairvoyant Relic, you are a worthy arch nemesis. I'll be back to whip your ass next run. And the next time, I'll have some armor and
I ain't left out bad and booze. You think I'm left out bad and booze?
Wait, what'd you say?
I'm left out bad and booze.
The next run is gonna be worse. Oh, never mind, Mr. Relic. You're probably beating my ass next run. And if you don't want your ass to get beat by the Clairvoyant Relic, subscribe. Or the next time you boot up a Persona game, every enemy in the game will be replaced by the Clairvoyant Relic. You've been warned. Using Personas in this run is a bit weird. We don't have any social link bonuses except for the Fool, since it progresses with the story. Typically, I'll make Personas just for the skills they learn after fusing, but none of our Personas are learning anything unless we go and manually level them up. That's not happening unless I have no choice. So the skills that you see when you choose to fuse is what you get. This is a bit of an issue because the best Persona skills are locked behind the level up. We're going to try to make the best of the base skills Personas have. After reaching the top of this TARDIS block, we go back a few times to ninja loot some chests. We might need the healing items for our next big fight. The Emperor and the Empress. They change around their weaknesses randomly, but we know that's bullshit. Their first weaknesses are always Pierce and Electric. We abuse that and delete them on the first 2 turns. Not having equipment has been rough. We pretty much die if we don't win in the first 2 turns of a battle. We unlock Theurgies and get some new equipment, and it's way better than the default stuff we have. Oh wait, we only get weapons, no armor. Yeesh. I want to open up some of those Twilight chests to see if I can get some armor. We've collected some fragments, and oh wow, I only have 4 fragments. Guess we're going armorless for a little while more. But on floor 54, the RNG gods have blessed us. Not really though, because it's a set spawn, but it sure is lucky for me. We find a muscle shirt in a chest that does not require Twilight fragments. Oh, it's beautiful. Some damage reduction, finally. This is huge. This changes everything. We make a few Personas. The most noteworthy one is Zoshofarten. He doesn't look too special, but we managed to get Zane, crit boost, and auto Tarukaja on him. It doesn't seem like much, but we don't have many skill cards or ways to make builds, so this is pretty awesome for us. Zasho fuck this. Let's just call him Not Goku. Not Goku will probably carry us through the next full moon with Zane alone. Not being able to be outside of Tartarus means we can't complete most of Elizabeth's requests, which really sucks because some of them are as easy as picking up an item from a party member and getting a sweet reward. We just have to ignore these exclamation marks and go to bed. Jesus Christ, I should have called this run, can you beat Persona 3 by sleeping the whole game? We have the option now to save people trapped in Tartarus. I checked if we would get any benefit from doing this, and we don't for now, because the rewards are at the police station. Sometimes social links will get stuck in Tartarus too, but we can't progress those, and we haven't met any of them and definitely won't this playthrough. So those social links are fucked. They better find a way out on their own. Later on, we can rescue kittens for Twilight fragments, and that's not a joke. They're actually kittens. So if it's not a cat, we're not bothering with it. Full moon comes, and we have another 2 boss shadows to worry about, the Hierophant and the Lover's boss. The Hierophant will try to cause the whole party to be afraid. This makes it so we're too scared to act and are much more likely to get hit with a crit. So we start by debuffing his accuracy and attack. Then it's easy from here. We spam Zane and win. Wait, no. Zane is the wrong skill. Yikes. So if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, in Persona 3 Reload there are two skills, Zane and Getsue. They're very similar. Zane does more damage the closer you are to a new moon, and Getsue does more damage the closer you are to a full moon. Getsue is pretty busted for boss fights. And this is not good. My whole plan was around Zane. What I actually needed was Getsue. We take a plan B.
Dude, what the fuck?
I meant to say I didn't have a plan B. It's alright. We've been in tighter spots in this. We take a deep breath and keep debuffing him. Things are going slow, but Junpei motherfucking crit Iori handles business. The Lover's boss is the exact same fight, except it's just a bit harder, because they inflict charm instead of fear. So our party will attack us and heal the boss every once in a while. Oh no, we almost wiped. We apply our buffs and debuffs and make it pretty far. But then she one-hit KOs me. Not having equipment right now is really hurting. We don't have any ways to resist the charm effect, and we don't have ways to tank the Lover's high damage attacks. Even with the debuffs, they can still erase our HP. We played a little smarter this time by buffing the whole party, but it ends the same, with me getting one-hit KO'd. We wiped to them a lot. Never thought I'd be having trouble with the Lover's boss again, but here we are. I finally get it right and we defeat the Lovers. You want to know how? Apparently, I had a persona equipped that was weak to Pierce, and didn't notice for like 5 deaths in a row. Yeah, laugh it up, bro. That's why I kept getting one-hit KO'd. You would think with hundreds of hours on this game, I'd be a bit smarter by now. On 7/19, the antique shop opens up, so we step inside, craft absolutely nothing, stare her dead in her face, and never come back again. Back in Tartarus, these guys bully us for 30 minutes straight. So we go and make some nasty personas and start bullying them instead. We've hit a point in the run where all-out attacks are pretty much useless. You see, all-out attacks scale off of your main weapon, and since we can't upgrade our gear, most of the time going again and attacking an enemy's weakness instead will do the most damage. All-out attacks might be useful again if we can manage to get our hands on better weapons. We are dying a lot in Tartarus. It's mainly because we have nothing protecting us from damage. We have buffs and debuffs we can apply, but they're single target and enemies are already using AoE attacks. Our way around this is using a lot of SP so we can stay up with heals and exploit weaknesses. We move closer through Tartarus this way, but at least we'll be able to complete it. Damn, this rule set really locks us out of a lot more stuff than I thought it would. We won't get access to each character's individual theurgy characteristics, since we can't hang out with them. The second theurgy some characters get unlocked through the story though, so we'll get access to those. Right before the full moon, Fuka asks if we're prepared. And I remember I haven't done any prep work. So we're just gonna wing it. We've been sleeping for 25 days straight. I'm itching to get into a battle. At the start of the chariot battle, we immediately debuff his attack. If our Tartarus trips are any indicator of how our fights will go, we will instantly die if the enemy does not have a debuff applied. We can't do much damage to them until we make them split. So we apply our buffs and debuffs as we fill up our theurgies. It is absolutely crucial that we have the buffs applied and block with the person the tank is targeting, or they will instantly die. We get our theurgy and cause them to split. Our lack of armor forces us to play defensively and take it slow. We save our theurgies for when they combine, and eventually, we send this duo to the stratosphere. I just got back from the full moon and I'm greeted with a message I've never seen before. I'm pretty sure it's because I'm ignoring the people in Tartarus. Oh, I hope that doesn't lock us out of the true ending. That'll be awkward. We decide to go back to Tartarus during a new moon. This way we can actually use Zane. We get some Twilight fragments from Elizabeth, and I think it's because of the full arcana progressing. Oh, and our first cat. Yay, more fragments. We should have enough fragments for a few chests. I have scoured the internet for a spreadsheet or anything that has a list of all the chests we can open, but I haven't found anything. We really want to get armor, that's priority number 1. Or get some accessories that help cover our party's weaknesses. Weapons are not that important and neither are items. If I remember correctly, the equipment tends to be in the tier 3 fragment chests, so let's just start opening them and see what we get. Wait, holy shit, I have 22 fragments? Oh, this is great. Time to go crazy. First chest, we get a weapon for Koromaru. Not ideal, but I'll take it. Oh no, I didn't have my muscle shirt equipped this whole time. I'm a sellout. Now that we have it equipped, this actually changes everything. For realsies this time. Man, that explains why we were dying a lot. We equip a Gigaband for more survivability. Boots would be nice to find too because evasion is always great. Then we get another piece of armor. Hell yeah. It also looks like the tier 2 fragment chests give equipment too. We got some boots for Mitsuru. Next chest we get a weapon for Aegis and sexy armor. I don't have enough Twilight fragments to waste on sexy armor. Get out of here. Through the Monad door we find some champion gloves for Akihiko. It gives him Endure, which lets him tank a hit that would otherwise KO him. This is really good for this run since we lack survivability. In the Velvet Room we struggle to make anything useful without the social link bonuses. Honestly, the personas we've carried with us have gotten some pretty great skills from leveling up. So we're sticking with what we have for now, but we can actually get more Twilight fragments from Elizabeth by making more personas. And we have a bunch of money we're not going to use for anything else. We go on a summoning spree and fuse everything under the sun. Now it's time to sleep through the film festival and wait until the next full moon. Time for the boss battle. And if I remember correctly, this is Mr. Zappy Zap, so no Yukari or Aegis because of their electricity weakness. They will just be dead weight. And worse than that, they'll get us all fucking killed. But we still need heals, so we take Ken instead. Junpei is usually our main damage dealer, but he's currently tied up in some other business. No? Yeah, that was bad. We're gonna take Shinjiro and Koromaru in Junpei's place. Shinjiro and Koromaru will be in charge of damage while Makoto and Ken will manage heals. And holy shit, this combo of Koromaru and Shinjiro is insane. Koromaru might feel like a weird choice for damage, but he knows Getsue, so he's doing decent damage. The goodest boy in all of Persona can also double everyone's next physical attack with his Theurgy. And if you use that with Shinjiro's Theurgy, which is a physical move, you get really high numbers. We rinse and repeat this combo until he's in his blue phase. We just have to guard at the right times and this will be an easy win. I got greedy. I always get greedy. Let's do this one last time, yeah? We decide to use Revolution. This will increase everyone's crit rate, including Mr. Zap. This fake ass Zapdos only uses electric moves, and physical attacks are the only attacks that can crit. We're only attacking with physical moves, so only our party will benefit from the crit rate boost. Revolution, along with combining Koromaru and Shinjiro's Theurgies, carries us to a victory. In Tartarus, we've unlocked Dark Zones. I've been waiting for this. Dark Zones are great for this run because they almost always guarantee Twilight fragments. We now have a consistent way to get them. Well, consistent isn't the right word. Since they spawn randomly, it's a repeatable way to get them. We won't grind for them unless we hit a point where we really need better equipment. We then rescue Sir Fluffy Buns, so more Twilight fragments. We're gonna open each Twilight chest from here on out. Let's see what we get. We got better armor, hell yeah. We got some better shoes for more evasion. A new weapon for Shinjiro, armor for Akihiko that gives him ice evasion, which is great because that's his weakness. And finally, we get a weapon for Ken that boosts crit rate. I'm tired of sleeping. We're gonna be here while sleeping the days away. How y'all doing? Good? Cool. Does anyone still listen to the Persona 5 Imagining project in 2024? I know it can't just be me. If you do, put your favorite track in the comments. Or music suggestions since you clearly have great taste. Oh, Full Moon's here. I'm a certified bag fumbler. I spent all my time grinding Shinjiro and Ken up, but they're not here for this full moon. I've played this game way too many times to forget that. Oh man, we take Yukari and Junpei in their place. I've done this too many times. This should be easy. To avoid that from happening again, we need to make sure our HP is always above 300. Except that our team is underleveled. Yukari doesn't even have 300 HP when she's full. This is not gonna work. We don't have enough HP and our armor is okay, but not great for being this late into the game. We'll have to come back. We reload our save and focus on leveling Yukari, Mitsuru, and Koromaru. Fortune resists physical attacks and is immune to strike. Akihiko and Junpei are both physical attackers, so they'll be benched for this fight. We also fuse Black Frost, and we see a social link bonus for the first time this run. I think we'll hold on to Black Frost as our main magic attacker. We also get lucky and got a Misaguchi with a Vorpal Blade. Not the ideal persona, but that's a great move this early on. We're back to fortune and strength, but we have a problem. We're still dying very, very fast. We don't have enough defense to withstand their attacks. And because of that, we lose quite a few times. Until I had enough. I'm not gonna lie, we cheesed this bitch crazy. We used a bunch of attack mirrors to reflect her attacks. This made it so we almost never took damage, and then we patiently waited for Fortune to roll double magic damage for everyone. And then we used that to hit her with our Theurgies. It was the only way, y'all. It had to be done. While we sleep until the next full moon, here's some fun stats about this run. By the end of it, we will have spent 300 days sleeping for about 16 hours a day, which is approximately 4,800 hours of sleeping. We have failed 5 exam weeks, and our highest social stat is rank 2 in academics, which is purely from accidentally getting some answers right during the classroom sections. In Tartarus, we get some nice gear from chess, including a Tetra Jammer, which lets us survive insta-kill attacks. The saddest part of this run is all the loot I've collected and can't sell. During the full moon, Strega poses a little problem. We brought Ken and they can insta-kill him, and they do it a lot. But Junpei motherfucking Crit Iori is back. He lands crit after crit. We get so many all-out attacks that Strega had no idea how they lost the battle. For the Hanged Man, we start off with all our theurgies. We get so much damage out in the beginning that it just snowballed into more theurgies and more damage. We completely obliterate the Hanged Man. Also, Ken is stupidly broken. He's so strong. Why didn't anyone tell me about this? With the final boss shadow defeated, all that's left for us is to get to the top of Tartarus and defeat Nyx. Getting to the top of Tartarus was pretty easy. We took it really slow since we can't do anything besides Tartarus with our time. It just didn't make sense to rush to the top in one day. If you're wondering how we got to the top with no armor, we used a strat from the early Overwatch days. Mercy used to be able to resurrect the whole team. This led to Mercy players hiding during the fight and then rezzing their whole team, completely carrying the fight. Ken can do the same thing. So on our Tartarus runs, we didn't bother healing anyone besides Makoto. Ken always had a berry on him, like he was hiding, so he can never die. And if everyone else died, we would just res the entire team and turn the tables. Seriously, Ken is so busted, like Naoto and Persona 4 Golden busted. Use him if you're ever struggling. As far as prep goes for Nyx, we don't grind up to 99. I usually farm the Reaper with Armageddon, but we need a social link maxed out to get Armageddon. So we just focus on making some strong personas. We can get social link bonuses for the Fool and Death Arcanas. So we make a Susanoo for physical attacks and Thanatos for magic attacks. We don't have many skill cards, so the skills we have are from fusions. We're only level 89, but hopefully it's enough for the final day. On a scale of preparedness ranging from going in raw, all the way up to wearing battle armor during sex, I am definitely closer to the raw side. Jin is the first fight of the night. He's immune to dark skills, so we can't use Thanatos. We'll stick with Susanoo and wear him down with Brave Blade. When he phases, he does more damage, but he loses HP each turn. We put up barriers and guard. This way, he ended up defeating himself. We save our theurgies for Takaya, to hopefully get an edge on the battle. We start off by doubling our physical attack damage with Koromaru, and then we pop our physical theurgies. We keep bullying him until he loses his mind and pops his own theurgy. We put barriers up on the full team so he keeps hitting himself. Then Junpei goes in for the final blow. All that's left standing between us and the completion of this run is Nyx. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel Nyx is such a pushover compared to the rest of the... Okay, so we run into a small problem. Nyx can wipe us in one attack during the Priestess phase. So we have to put barriers up on Makoto at all times to avoid getting one-tapped. And I know Nyx will do way more damage in later phases, so the barrier is crucial to us winning this fight. Nyx pulls out a big-ass sword and wipes our whole party. I'm still here because of the barrier. We res everyone and push on. From here on out, we will always use Debilitate on Nyx. That's our only chance of surviving this. We get to the Strength phase, and just like the Strength boss fight, he wipes our team. We have the same issue. We don't have enough defense or HP to withstand the attack, but we revive everyone and use our theurgies to get through it. This is honestly the first time I've had to think through this fight. I usually just use Armageddon if I get a phase I don't like. We hit the last phase and I am scared. We heal back up, but there was a slight oversight when I put my party together. I have no ways to deal with ailments. We have some items, but only very few, so we have to be careful. I've never let this fight go on this long, so I had no idea. He uses all of the Shadow Boss's attacks in his last phase. We put barriers up again and again, and Nyx almost kills himself, so we help him finish the job. Ugh, I didn't think I'd make it this far. Going to sleep every single day alone almost ended me. That must have been at least 5 hours of this run, but we made it. And if you've made it this far, thank you. I'm happy that you're here. I'll be doing more RPG challenge runs in the future, and I hope to see you next time.